Welcome everybody to day one of the Scottish Highlands 6-day road trip. It's Rich here, and we are now currently sat on the M6 heading north between Birmingham and Manchester. We left a few hours ago from Gloucestershire. I've just rendezvoused with Jace, one of the guys who is in a 2022 Porsche Cayman GTS 4 litre, and we're now plodding his way up a very wet M6 in pretty horrible conditions here, and we've had a bit of a bad start as well. I'd only been gone about 40 minutes and there was an M5 blockage, partial, well, it was a motorway closure for about 20 minutes, and that's put us sort of behind time. Not an ideal start when we had a sort of best part of a 400-mile trip up to Ayr through the Pennines. So what we've done, we've met up at Stafford. Jason and I, we've had just a quick conflab, and because the weather is really heavy rain, it's not much fun. We're behind time already, having just started. We've decided to abort the Pennines run and just try to get up to Ayr and almost write this first day off. And that's absolutely not what I wanted to do. I didn't want to write off day one and day 6 just for getting up to Scotland and back. But because of the road closure or motorway closure, because of the heavy rain, we've decided, look, we're behind time, weather's terrible, let's just save ourselves for the rest of the road trip. So you'll join us, hopefully, in a few more miles up the M6, close to Ayr. So we've just stopped at Preston, come off the motorway to get to a Tesco's, and we've put in Momentum 99. Just working out the MPG, we've done 174.9 miles, 29.08 litres, and divide that by 4.546, and then 174.9 miles, 27.3 MPG. Oh my God. That is 50% more than I've ever got before. Normally, every day when I take it out, about 18. When I'm up in Wales on it, it can drop even lower than that to sort of 15. I cannot believe it's returned over 27 to the gallon. And that's because predominantly I've been sat at about 70 miles an hour, which is about 2,800 revs. So it's just below the turbo really spooling up. Wow, 27.3 mpg. Beat that. Unsurprisingly, the rain has come back again. So apart from a brief respite at Preston when we grabbed some fuel, it's been pretty relentless all drive. We're now, well, we can't be far from Penrith, and which for me is always the gateway into Scotland at Gretna Green, and that's where we're coming off. And I mean, the M6 is just such a bind, especially in this weather, especially in the Scooby, and you don't realise how terrible the standard period stereo is until you try to use it, and it takes me 20 minutes to find a flipping channel, and I have to turn it up so loud, it's so crackly, and the speakers are so weak, and oh god. So I just ended up sitting with it off and then just bored out of my skull. I mean, why is bloody Scotland so far away? However, the only saving grace is that we're not travelling all the way to Inverness. I just couldn't. I think that would just be too much. A 10-11 hour drive to get there would just, I think, do my head in. So the breakup of the journey is good. And I think when you're going up for 6 days, you don't want to waste the whole of day one and the whole of the last day getting there and getting back. So Jason and I have had a discussion. Even though the weather's poor, the motorway was shut early, we're late and all this, we are going to come off at Gretna Green. We've got a couple of options depending on if the weather improves slightly or not, and we're going to take a few A-B roads cross country from Gretna to Ayr, and hopefully we'll find a couple of decent roads, because I've just about done it sat here at 60, 70 mile an hour, and half the motorways are 50 miles an hour as well, which doesn't help. So eventually we've arrived in Ayr in southwest Scotland. It's been an epic day one, in truth. We had the motorway closure at the start of the day. We've had rain pretty much, well, 90% of the day it's rained. We did have a bit of a break at lunch when I got the chance to get fuel at Preston, and that's when I got that brilliant figure of over 27 to the gallon. We then continued all the way up. We came off at Gretna Green and we took a back way into Ayr, which I'm going to just talk you through the couple of the roads that we went on that were absolutely brilliant. The whole day took about 9.5 hours to get from Gloucestershire up to Ayr. I highly recommend it, to tell you the truth, that you don't try to get all the way to Inverness in a day. The last thing I would have wanted with a motorway closure, really poor weather, poor visibility, is to try to get another 3, 4, 5 hours north of Glasgow up to Inverness. You would have it'd have been a 13, probably 14 hour day. You'd be absolutely knackered. So I think that stopover for us and making day one part of the road trip, I think, is really important, because there's a couple of belting roads that we've been on once we came off the M6 at Gretna Green. Let me show you. So just a quick recap. We left here, Gloucestershire. We did M5 this morning. That was where the road closure was at Worcester. We then went up past Birmingham. I met Jace in the Cayman around Stafford. We then transited all the way up. We stopped at Preston to get a Tesco's just off the motorway to get fuel. We then carried on all the way up to Gretna Green, which is just about here. The onward journey is up to Ayr, up here. So if I just flip to the more detailed map. So we came off here at Gretna, and this saved the motorway slog up the M74 up to Glasgow. So we came off at Gretna and we took this A75 to Dumfries and through the other side of Dumfries. It's main trunk road, incredibly busy. We were on this sort of between 4 and 5 o'clock. Really, really busy, horrible road, but it just had to be done. We took a right then at called Crockford, and we took this road, the I think it's the 712. The light's not very good in here, actually. This road is an absolute belter, and it's two-way, but although it's down as an A road, it's really more like a UKB road. It's up and down, left and right, continually turning, twisting. There's bumps, there's compressions. It really is a great Scooby road, that road. And then the surprise was once we got on the main A road up to Ayr, the A713 here, this road is another really good road and incredibly quiet. I expected this, being a more major A road, to be much busier than it was. It's not got the slower corners. Most of it is high speed stuff. So on this road, a lot of the road was sort of second, third, at most fourth gear. On the A712, this was predominantly sort of fourth, fifth gear, really fast stuff along here, big fast sweepers, and that takes you all the way into Ayr. Unfortunately, when we arrived in Ayr, we had biblical conditions. The roads were they were in flood. We went through several floods actually in Ayr itself, finding the place that we were staying tonight. And weather forecast tomorrow doesn't look much better. So there we go. That's day one done. Day two starts early in the morning. We've got a problem though. So Jason, I've come up with in his Porsche Cayman GTS, has got a slow puncture in his rear offside tyre. So we're going to have to go to a tyre garage in Ayr first thing tomorrow morning to see if it can get repaired. We don't know if it's a nail, we don't know if it's a valve issue, we don't know if he needs a new tyre, whether they'll have one in stock, probably not with the size, the 20-inch alloys on the Cayman. And incidentally, let me just show you out this window. This is where the cars are, and if you just see, look at the difference there between the 20-inch alloys on the Cayman and the little Diddy 17s on the Scooby. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed it. Trying now to get this edited, get it uploaded onto YouTube, and hopefully we'll go live later on this evening. Hope you enjoy it. As always, if you did, please thumbs up, subscribe, and stay tuned. Another video, hopefully tomorrow, from our Airbnb just outside Inverness.